Hello. It's time to deal with the items on my desk again. So, I have to put up my safety guard here for my cats. Otherwise, they will jump up here. Okay. So, first things first. What is this? Alright, that's somebody's address that I already dealt with. Wow, this pad of paper is almost done. I have 2 pieces of paper left on this pad, on my staple pad. That's okay. I've been making these ones now, and these ones, the size is much better. And yes, I do have a video on these. Alright, this is just a piece of junk mail, but I like to stamp off on those, so I'll put those under there. This is an envelope. What's on the inside? Ooh, alrighty, let's use that. That's kind of pretty. This I could do a collage on, so I'll put that over to the side. Alrighty, this and this. These are both envelopes that need to be dealt with. There's a sticker there I want to deal with. A couple more envelopes I want to deal with. A couple more envelopes. So I've got quite a variety of different envelopes here. Alrighty. And this. Okay, pad of paper. That's really pretty. Okay, that can go off to the side. These I need to deal with. This stuff, more envelope. Okay, and then the brown paper bag. Okay, very good. So let's do first things first. This is sticker paper and addresses, which is the same as this. So, and what I like to do is I like to recycle, because I don't need all of these stickers, these address labels. So, what I like to do is trim them down and make it into tape. Alright, there's my chopper right there. Okay. So, because when I'm doing iris folding or making homemade envelopes, then I like to have these on hand. So, and I've got this container to put them in. So, let's go ahead and trim this up. And if they have a pretty picture on the side, then normally I'll save the picture. But if they don't, this is all I do. I just put them in here and just cut them lengthwise straight down. Because then I can use them as little pieces of tape. Because why not? They're sending it to me in the mail anyways. I don't want to just throw it away, so let's make something out of it. There. Alright. So those are all the tips. I've dropped my little separator so the cats can't come up. So see what this does is just creates these little bits of tape here. So I have all these strips of little pieces of tape. There, and they just get put in this container. And I've got these ones. These ones are really pretty. And these ones actually, I don't need that many though. These ones I'm going to cut the pretty pictures off, because I can use these as postage. So I'll put those in my postage drawer. This row I'll make into tape. These pretty pictures I'll put in there. These ones I can make into tape. Alright, and then this I'll just save because I will use these ones. Alright, so look at all those pieces of tape that I've got in there. There's so many that I can use, which is wonderful. Alright, so there you go, and I've got my faux postage now, which is awesome. These address labels I need to put in the drawer here with my other ones. Alrighty, and this one needs to be cut apart also. And ahead and do it this way. And this is the top where they put all the information, but it's a big sticker, so I just cut it in strips because when I'm taping, so this is a piece this long, a piece of tape this long, so when I'm taping scraps together to make a background, I can use these pieces of tape on the back of it instead of my regular tape, because this is free. Okay, so now let's see, let's deal with the envelopes next, and I'll deal with that. All right, so envelopes. That's pretty. Okay. So I can see what I'm going to use on this. So I'm just going to trim it down. How far is it on there? Oh, it's not. Okay, so I just have to trim this off and this piece off. Oh, now this can go in with my other scraps because I have a box over here that I save my envelope scraps in, which is the bottom box right there. So grab this. There you go. This one. All right, so these go right in this box. Alrighty, put that over there. And then this needs to be trimmed open. This is just garbage. Come on. All right, there you go. All right. So is that? Oh, that one's kind of scratched up. All right, so I can't use that one. That's okay. I can save the rest of this. This goes in the box. This can be thrown away. This can be trimmed off at the sides. Okay, that can go in the box, and these can be thrown away. All right, next one. Let's see. Open this one up. Side, and this can be used. Okay, that can go in my box. These pieces can go in my box if I can separate these. Usually you can. Very good. Perfect. All right. So those can go in the box for recycling. This one, I need to trim off the stamp so I can recycle that on the elderly cards. So that goes in my postage drawer. Alrighty, and I'd like to return a little letter to her, a letter of thanks, because this is the gal that sends me my women's flyers from church. She's such a sweetheart. So that can go in my little reminder box to send her a little thank you. And then this can be folded in half, and I can cut these off, the corners. They can be made into my bookmarks, or I can put them in, and the rest is garbage. Or I can put them in my container here, which is where I like to save them so that I can do this. I put little verses and little flyers and lifting pages from little flyers and stuff, and I slide them in the little corners of the envelope and glue those on the inside of cards for the seniors so they have something to read. Alrighty, so next, oops, we've got another one. Another envelope. Alrighty. Is that one? Nope, this one's kind of scratched up too, so I'm going to throw that one away. Trim this side off, and the rest of that goes in my decorative paper box. Trim this off. There we go. All right, this is garbage. Okay, and this one, this one's got all that writing on the back, so I'd have to cover all that up if I would recycle this one. That's on the inside, nothing. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is just recycle that postage. And then this can go in the garbage. Oops, nope. Hang on, I can trim off the bottom here for bookmark. Alrighty, there. This can go in the garbage, and this can be trimmed, so I can recycle this on the senior cards. Because even if they say no postage necessary, then I can cancel that out and use it for them. Alrighty, so now we've got this gorgeous envelope, which is so pretty. So I'm going to cut this off first, the postage. Where is it? Alright, see, these are just so pretty. So I'm going to recycle these pretty pictures. And they will be made into cards. This is garbage. This needs to be trimmed off. There, that's so pretty. So that can go in with my images. This needs to be trimmed. It's really pretty. And that can go in with my images. And this. Ooh, that envelope's pretty. That glassing is pretty good, so I can trim that. Alright, so this is a non-profit stained image, so I can recycle that. And this, I can recycle this window to make a window card. Alright, so the rest of that's garbage. Alright, now where am I? Let's see, the sticker sheet, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save this. Alright, now this is gorgeous. Bath and Body Works. This was a perfume that they had on sale. They put it on clearance. So my daughters and I bought what they had left. They had enough for each of us to get a couple of them. So for gifts, and for ourselves, of course. So it's so pretty and shiny. I want to save this. I don't want to ruin it though. So I guess I'm just going to trim it with the scissors, because this pretty cardboard can definitely be recycled. That high gloss rose colored cardstock. It's so pretty. So I can punch things out of these. I can fussy cut, which I'm going to fussy cut that piece of rose. This that says rose on the front, I think I'm just going to go ahead and just make this card into a card front, even with the word rose, and I can cover up the perfume portion. So that'll go in with my images. Oops, images. These, I'm going to fussy cut those. These I can just cover with a piece of paper and then get that pretty background. So, and these I can punch things out of or use it as backgrounds for smaller pieces. So that needs to go in my cardstock. Scraps. Cardstock. I have all these silly things on my desk to keep the cats off of certain parts. I've got this metal thing on the side of my desk, which I lay on top of my boxes because they will not get on top of that. For some reason, it scares the life out of them. So, but they were getting into my scrap boxes and just doing this and pawing through them and making a mess. So to prevent that, I put that metal thing on there. And it works. All right, for these, I'm going to go ahead and just fussy cut this now because I want to get this done and put this right in my images. And then the leftover pieces here, I can put in with the leftover cardstock. There, that's pretty. All right, so that can go in with images. That is really pretty. And this doesn't look like much, but when I use it on a card, once I fussy cut it out, I can use it as a border for a card, and that'll be really pretty. Or for the inside of the card that I use the other pieces with. So I always try to save my borders because they're easy to recycle. That's good enough for now. Okay, and these can go in with my cardstock scraps. Alrighty. There. Now, I've got this great big piece. This is such a pretty color orange. Great big envelope. So I decided to save this and cut it and use it for layering. Over because I know I'm going to trim it right where that is. There. And then this way. I'm sure I can get 5 pieces out of that. That'd be nice. So that'll make 5 card fronts. All right, so let's do that one first. So 4 1/4 by, oops, turn that side off, by 5 1/2. Right there. There we go. So we've got 2 layers. And then 4 1/4. Trim off that excess. And 5 1/2. There, 2 more pieces. And I've got these scraps that can go in with that. Alrighty. And then it looks like I might be able to get that too. So if I trim this, I might be able to get 2 card fronts off of this. You can see I do like to recycle as much as I possibly can, but I'm hoping that this will help to give you some ideas too, because you know sometimes we don't think of certain things, and sometimes you know maybe this will trigger something else for you. Maybe you'll just like this idea and do it, or maybe it'll trigger something else and then you'll come up with a better idea or another good idea. All right, so let's trim that, and this needs to be 5 1/2. So if you've got ideas that are triggered from watching this, then please definitely share. I would appreciate that. All right, so we do have 2 more fronts, so that's awesome. And now this, you can trim right here where the label is. And this, I can trim that piece off to use. I can trim this piece off to use. And this can go in my postage drawer. This can be trimmed off, and this can be in my, oops, let me take this other piece off. All right, this can go in with my scraps. These can go in the garbage. Oops. This can go in with my ephemera. And this, I just have to trim this bottom portion off, and that's another layer for a card. All right, doing pretty good here. Alrighty, so now, let's see. I have this and this I want to deal with, and this, and then I'll deal with this big bag that's torn. All right, so let's do the sticker first. All right, now this sticker, what I like to do, and as a matter of fact, I could do it on one of these. I like the background. These were a sheet of owls. So it's just a background that's repeat images. And it's just the negative portion of it. But what I like to do is use that background. If you put it on a piece of colored paper, then it'll show up. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to put this right on there, and use my scraper and scrape the back, make sure it's all burnished. We can trim off this extra because we don't need that. And that can go back on this because I can use that as tape. Oops, if it's going to stay on there. Nope, okay, it's going to have to go in the garbage then. All right. Well, we'll throw that away and save this paper because I like to use those. All right, now check out this background. Isn't that a nifty looking background? So that's going to go on a card front, and it'll probably be a video. So, all right, so the next one is this. I save this because these are for the little snack size mozzarella balls. But I like this background here. So what I want to do is I want to save this because I'm thinking this would be a neat texture for my gel pad. So I'm going to save this to use. I think that's going to be a really neat background. All right. So before I had my gel pad to do backgrounds, then I would normally save this for behind images or words because it's really neat fiber. Can you see that? So it's kind of like a woven fiber, so you can use it for that too. So, and I may end up doing both. I may end up using it first for on my gel pad, and then use it as fiber on a card. I think that would be kind of cool. Now this is garbage, and I'm going to salvage this side too. There, so I've got two nice pieces of that, which I can save to use with my gel pad. All right, so now I've got this. I adhered it to this little plastic bag. This is a circle, and it's sticky, as you could hear. It came off of lobster bisque from Costco, and it's perfect round. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead, whoops, and I'm gonna make a circle background because I have all these white scraps. So I'm gonna cover it up, and then I'll use it to back something. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just put my card strip, little strips of excess card scrap on here, and it sticks right on, which is perfect. Alrighty. It's easier for me to keep control if I do this one. There. All right, now I can use these ones on this side. There. So I keep grabbing for those scissors. So it's sticky on this this one side, and it's got the words on the back side here, but that's okay because you won't see the words because that's the side that I'll glue down on a card front. And it's a perfect circle, so as long as I'm careful and slow, then I can go ahead and cut this circle out. And there we go. I now have a circle. So now I can either stamp on it or run, I'm probably going to run it through a folder to get some texture on it and then put an image on it and slap it on the front of a card. So that's pretty neat. Alright, so another idea if you're into really recycling stuff, we usually have that lobster bisque usually about once a month, sometimes twice a month, depends. So, but that's always a fun thing to save. Alrighty, so there. So now these are done. And now I have this brown paper bag left, which when I brought it home, actually by the time I made it out to the car, then it was tearing apart because it's a Dollar Tree bag, so of course it's really cheap and chintzy, but that's okay. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it apart anyways. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it after it's cut. Down here. That's the side that I missed. So that gave me the whole front, the whole back, and then bits and pieces from the side. So that's pretty cool. Okay. There, and the bottom I just throw away because I could recycle that, but I'm already recycling the rest of it, so I don't feel bad about that one piece. All right, but all of these I'm definitely going to use, and even this little piece here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out of my way because I'm going to show you one of the ways that I like to recycle brown paper bags. Let me put this stuff away. Alrighty. So, I'll start with the biggest ones. And where are they? I've got one right here. Perfect. Do I have another one or just this one? Yep, just this one for now. Okay. I thought I had two. Alright, I guess I put them away. I've got one out. Bingo dauber. I'm going to turn this into a background by just using a simple bingo dauber. So, and this is so old it's getting really brittle, but that's okay. So I'm going to... Isn't that funny, the design? I need to cut a piece of felt and work on this one, but I don't mind the dots like that either. But just using a bingo dauber, and we come out with some polka dotted craft looking paper. How cool is that? You can use this for wrapping paper. You can save the whole sheet and cut off the amount that you need to wrap gifts with, or you can do what I'm going to do and just save it for card fronts, for layers. There. So isn't that a pretty background? You can also stamp with regular stamps all over it. But I like to use my bingo daubers for that because I've got a whole set of old bingo daubers. Some that my sister gave me years ago and some that I was using at bingo. And I haven't been in a while. And I probably have about 20 bottles of this stuff. So I've tried to get the kids using them and they love to paint with them. When they were little, I would draw an alphabet or cut an alphabet out of a piece of paper or write their name or draw a picture like a snowman or a dog or a cat, and they would just daub color or just rub it back and forth in color. They used to love doing that, and they still do every once in a while. They're preteens and teenagers now, but when I pull them out, they'll still play with them, and they'll go down memory lane and say, remember we used to do this and it was so much fun. There you go. So that's another whole sheet. So we can set that over to dry. And this piece, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay. And this one, the same thing. I have some fluorescent ones in the other room too, but I don't like going in that room in the wintertime because we keep it shut because it's really, really cold in there. We don't have heat in that room, so it's just a spare bedroom that we use in the summertime, but besides that, I just use it for a storage room for my excess craft stuff and Christmas stuff and genealogy stuff. All right, so these need to dry a little bit. Oops, and I've got this little piece. I guess I should have done these first, but that's okay. No problem. There. All right, so need to put this back over here. Actually, I should leave it here so I remember to redo that. All right, so how wide is that? Because now what I'm going to do is run it through the crimper. Will that? Oh, yes, it will. And this one looks like it's just about dry. Dry enough for me. All righty. So let's take this and shoot it through the crimper. I love my crimper. I use it all the time, as you see in my videos. Whoops, that really got stuck in there. Alrighty. There. Alright, but look at it now. Now that it's been crimped, that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Gives it totally different texture and comparing it to this. It just looks neat. But it hides all most of these crinkles that are on there, and that's why I like to do it. All right. Let's see if I can get this piece going in there. Oh, it's going crooked. All right, turn it sideways. All right. Crease down the middle, but that's okay. That'll work. That looks kind of cool. All right. So there, where'd that little piece go? Did it blow on the floor? Or did I do that already? Alrighty. Yep, it did. It blew on the floor. Here it is. Oh, that's the other one. Okay. I didn't do this one. All right. So these ones I could put up there with the other piece, and this one, you know what, I'm going to just crimp this one so you can see the difference between the way just a plain one, because I like to use this just as plain craft paper sometimes too, and it's pretty. Doesn't that look neat? So there you go. So I've gone through that whole pile of stuff that I had on my desk. Yay me. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go ahead and crimp this too while I've got the crimper out. Why not that way? This way. Let's do it this way. Ooh, that looks really cool too. Pretty neat, huh? Alrighty, so there you go. I was able to get through all that stuff that I had on my desk. So thank you for helping me clean my desk up. I appreciate that. And if you like this type of cleanup video and all these little ideas rushing through my head as I'm dealing with them, then please give me a thumbs up. And until we meet again, happy crafting. Bye-bye.